Hey everybody, and welcome to 2020. Happy New Year. I'm just gonna be honest up top, as you can probably tell from my voice. I'm still getting over being sick. So I'm bringing in the new year the way everyone wants to. That's also why this video is a couple days late. Sorry about that again. But it doesn't mean I'm not gonna still answer these questions just like always. All right, so we've got a question from Nicholas, which is a pretty simple one this month. Nicholas just asks, what year in the decade had the best film lineup? Also, Thief was pretty outstanding. Well, that's great. I'm glad you like Thief. That's a great movie. More people should watch it. But as far as the question goes, that is a great question that I am actually exceedingly prepared to answer. As I think I've mentioned at least a couple times in these questions and answers videos, I tend to keep a list going of all the films I see, and I kind of started keeping that list right at the beginning of the decade. So I actually have on my Letterboxd account uh, the list of literally every movie I saw by year for the entire decade. So what I did is I took some notes here, went back, reviewed it, did some research, and I can actually definitively tell you what year was the best year of the 2010s in movies. Also, side note, we're going to gloss over a little bit of this. If you would like to see all this information in much more detail, you can go to my Letterboxd page. I'm sure you can probably just search my name or something. I don't really use it as a social media platform. I just use it to catalog the movies I see, but I'm sure you can find me on there. Anyway, so what I did is I went ahead and categorized the years into three distinct categories. Great years, good years, and bad years. Probably could have labeled those better. I'm sick, like I said, okay? Basically what how it broke down to is great years, movies that top to bottom, my entire top 10, the whole top 10, or at least most of it, I've still felt really good about. Like the top 10s as they exist in the rankings are what they were that year. I haven't gone back and revised them or anything, but they still mostly hold up. Uh, Good years are gonna be the years where like the top, half of the top 10 is really good, but maybe like the bottom half, like there's a couple in there. Maybe I don't feel like they hold up as well. And then bad years are basically there's always still gonna be some of the top, that are good, that are, even a bad year's got great movies at the top of the list. But, maybe looking back, if I had to redo it, maybe I would have only done like a top five. Like that bottom half just actually wasn't maybe that great. I just had trouble filling out a full list. So anyway, all that being said, let's go into the general breakdown year to year. Great years. What I have are 2010, 2012, and 2014. So we started off the decade strong. Every other year, great year for movies. Good years. We've got 2011, 2016, and 2018. So, 2011, starting off with that early part of the decade real strong, but then, the latter half had some good years as well. And the bad years I've got down is 2013, 2015, 2017, and unfortunately 2019, the most recent year. It was honestly, for me, obviously this is all just my opinion, but for me personally, 2019 was probably the weakest year for movies. Granted, I'm still, I'm not a paid film critic. I don't go to film festivals and get to see all these movies, so I'm still seeing them, the good Oscar movies as they're coming out around me and everything. But yeah, basically 2019 was not a banner year for me. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Like I said, I could go into great detail about all these years. We could go down the list and everything. If you want to do that, let's do the letterbox. Go to that because we don't have time. I'm sick. Well, I can't do that right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to break down the three great years. So 2010, 2012, 2014. We're going to start in order. 2010. Now, when I went and looked at this list of movies, I thought, holy cow, we found our winner just right off the bat. Because we've got just at the top here, my number one movie, Black Swan. Number two, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Number three, Social Network. I mean, like, hey, like that's like three of my like maybe top five movies of all time. Period. Right there. It all came out in the same year. That's real hard to beat. Continue down the list. We've also got Exit Through the Gift Shop, Great movie, great documentary. Winter's Bone, Dogtooth, Inception, Splice, Easy A. Get him to the Greek. Okay, so the last two, Easy A, I remember as being like just a good, really good, solid, you know, movie. I was gonna say comedy, like it's comedic, but it's like dramedy. I don't. It just is a good movie. It's a solid movie. Also, have not literally seen it since 2010, so I don't know. I can't really speak to that. And Get Him in the Greek. Look, I was in college. I thought it was funny at the time. There's a thing with like P Diddy and like the furry wall or something like that. It was funny. I have not seen it probably in like 7 years or so since then. So I don't know how funny I would still find it, but at the time thought it was good. 2010, strong year, strong year. All right, 2012, another great year. Top three again, super strong. Zero Dark 30, Cabin in the Woods, Prometheus. Prometheus, I get. That's maybe controversial to some people, not to me. I think it's fantastic. Let's keep going. The Gray, Skyfall, Django Unchained, 21 Jump Street, Paranorman, Looper, Killer Joe. All right, so now 2012. The top three probably not quite as strong as 2010. Like I said, these Zero Dark 30, Cabin in the Woods, Prometheus, great movies, love them. Probably don't love them quite as much as Black Swan, Scott Pilgrim, and Social Network. No disrespect to these movies, just not quite that top tier. But top to bottom, Looper, Killer Joe, probably better movies than Easy A and Get Them to the Greek. So top to bottom, we've got maybe that equals it out. To this point, I'm thinking, all right, this is some tough competition. We move on. 2014. Let me tell you, 2014, top three, Gone Girl, Grand Budapest Hotel, Lego Movie. Strong contenders again. I mean, come on. Yeah, I mean, look, I'll be honest, that goes up against the 2010 top three pretty well. We got another Fincher, Gone Girl versus Social Network. Which one of those do I like better? It's tough. Grand Budapest Hotel, great. This is 2014. There's still not a Criterion release for Grand Budapest Hotel. Wes Anderson, what are you doing to me? Stop making white savior movies about Japan and stop motion talking dogs and get off your ass and make the Criterion release for Grand Budapest Hotel. Come on, seriously. Lego Movie, perfect movie. It literally is perfect. You can't do it. There's nothing to make better about it. It's perfect. Let's keep going. Nightcrawler, great movie. Interstellar, probably Christopher Nolan's best movie. Whiplash, still kicks ass. Citizen 4, look, it was 2014. It was a different time. I haven't seen it since. I don't know. I might feel differently about, but now. But at the time, that was the right call. The Wind Rises, a Miyazaki movie, great Miyazaki movie. Maybe his last, maybe not. Under the Skin, maybe like, I mean, maybe the most underrated movie of the entire decade. Maybe like the most 2010s. Like, you think about this, like the second half of 2010. Maybe like the most iconic, like the most 2010s movie of the decade. Does that sentence make sense? I don't know, but it's a good movie. And Godzilla, they're great. Gareth Edwards' Godzilla did not get enough respect. It was a great movie. So top to bottom again, it's another one where like maybe the top three is not quite as good as the top three of 2010, but solid all the way top to bottom. So, we ran into a bit of a pickle here. These 3 years, they're great years. How do you decide? How do you figure out which is the best year? So I went and tried to devise a tiebreaker. And what I did is I went and just looked at all the movies that came out for those 3 years and just see if maybe something outside the top 10, if that would help me decide and figure out which is the actual best year of the decade. And let me tell you, I found my answer really quickly. All right, so here's the deal. I could string this along. I could tell you some of the movies that came out in 2010 and 2012, but we're just going to get straight to the point here. I'm going to list you off some of the other movies that came out in 2014. We got Noah, Enemy, Snowpiercer, The Double, Blue Ruin, Edge of Tomorrow. That's the name of the movie. I don't care what the Blu-ray says. It's Edge of Tomorrow. The Raid 2, The Box Trolls, We got The Tale of the Princess Kaguya, another Studio Ghibli movie. Are you kidding me? We got The Babadook, Inherent Vice, The Guest. Just call the match. Stop it. It's over. 2014. It's the best year by like a country mile. It's not even close. I could make a top 20 movies of 2014 and still feel like I left stuff off. So like it's over. It's no contest. Basically what I'm trying to say is you take a list of all the movies released in 2014, just throw a dart, you're probably going to land on a winner. It's clearly the best. It's an embarrassment of riches. So that's going to do it. That's your answer to the question. I have no idea if this video was any good or if it was terrible. The sickness is, doing stuff to this video's got an energy to it is what I'm trying to say, and we'll see in probably a week when I'm not sick anymore and I'll be able to tell if it was a good video or not. But until then, I'll just say I hope you all had a great 2019. I hope you have an even better 2020, and I will see you in another month with more questions and more answers. Goodbye.